Hey, it's Aaron. Today I want to talk about the Mercedes E-Class. For 2024, the E-Class was totally redone. This is the 6th generation of the E-Class. There are sedans and whatevers. I drove the wagon because if you're going to drive one of these, you should drive the station wagon. They have a different name for it in Europe. I don't care. In the US, it's a station wagon, and it's awesome. Big changes this year for the E-Class overall. The coupe and the convertible have been dropped. Those have moved over to the CLE class. I did a written review of that on Car News Cafe. If you want to go check that out, I'll put a link down in the description. So the E-Class has always been a four-door. So it's always been four doors and various body styles based on that. The wagon is the most balanced and in my mind the prettiest of those. So we're looking at a luxurious vehicle, very high-end, with a lot of technology included, tons of luxury and comfort stuff in it. And the E450 in particular which is the wagon is included in that, is just beautiful to drive. The engine is exactly the right size, the powertrain is just nicely balanced, and the whole vehicle itself is just well done. So the E-Class has several engine options, but the one that I drove, and the wagon in particular, is the E450, which is a 6-cylinder engine. So it's the 3-liter 6-cylinder, which outputs about 375 horsepower, which is perfect for this size of vehicle. It's a very, very nicely done. Let's see, what has it got included? The base stuff, let me look it up. The base stuff is 19-inch wheels, air suspension, adaptive suspension dampers, which are upgraded from the standard ones, and a 17-speaker Burmester audio system. So then there's a bunch of other stuff. There's all the usual safety equipment, driver's aids, etc., etc. It is a beautifully done wagon. Nice, very nice to drive. I don't know how much I can emphasize that. It just drives so well. Now, there are some downsides to it. Because it's European, some of the expected American amenities are not included. So you don't get vented seats and things like that. It doesn't have a heated steering wheel that I could find, at least no way to control the heated steering wheel that I could find. And Mercedes has moved towards everything kind of being on their infotainment screen instead of on with buttons and switches, and I find that highly annoying. The upside is the MBUX system that Mercedes uses is one of the best voice activated systems on the market. You can just talk to it and it usually understands what you're talking about. So when I wanted this seat heater on, I could just ask for it instead of looking around to figure out where to hit the button for it on that screen. Little things like that are a big plus in Mercedes. Now, most Mercedes seat controls, of course, are on the door. So if you want to turn on the heated seats without talking, you could just hit the button right there. But in a Mercedes, it's more fun to talk to it because it's a really great system. So there are some things that you have to get used to, but I feel like if you own this vehicle, you will get used to them very quick. For somebody like me who kind of hobos between vehicles, it's a little harder to get used to these things because I might be driving 2 or 3 vehicles that week because, you know, I own, like, we have our family vehicle, and there's like press loan vehicles and all the other, so I might have a little harder time, but I can intuitively tell that there are things that I will just get used to if I owned it. There's things in our minivan that we own that I'm just used to it because we've had it for so long, and there's things in here that'll be the same way. Most of the stuff that you want to do can either, like I said, be voice activated, or you can find it on the infotainment screen if you go looking for it. A good example of that is dimming the the gauge cluster and infotainment and stuff on the interior. So like I like those low at night. I don't want them shining in my face. It makes it harder to see out the windscreen and makes it harder to see other vehicles and other things. So I want those to be really low. Well, there's no just switch for that. You can't just reach over and do it, which used to be standard. Now you have to do it through the infotainment. But it's one of those things that you do it once and you probably never touch it again. So you either figure out where it is or you ask the system itself. You know, you just say, hey Mercedes, can I dim the interior lights? And it will bring you to that screen. So, you know, it's like I said, those are the things that you get used to or you learn quickly as you own the vehicle. I think I've said everything I can say. It's really nice to drive. It's beautiful, and it is a great example of luxury wagon driving. So, yeah, that's the Mercedes E-Class. Brand new for 2024. So, this has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.